Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. It was all hands on deck when the Daytona Beach International Airport staged a full-scale disaster exercise. And Bike Week is here, and there are important safety suggestions when traveling the county roadways. In the Business Beat, we visit a Volusia County company that is giving new life for your old electronics. Finally, joining Joanne Magley in the studio is Lenny Marion with Volusia County Solid Waste. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. Emergency responders from federal, state, and local agencies converged at Daytona Beach International Airport recently to practice how they would respond to a full-scale emergency.
It's an exercise that we do every 36 months, and it is to test the airport's emergency plan. The emergency plan would be implemented in the event of a large accident here at the airport.
The exercise brought together more than 225 participants and 60 volunteers. The volunteers from local universities role-played as passengers rescued from a fictitious commercial airline. For the exercise, a plane fuselage was staged on airport property and partially off property on Richard Petty Boulevard. A mass casualty drill mocks various emergencies that can occur on a plane, ranging from crashes to knowing how to help injured passengers.
Roughly 25 agencies, everyone from the FBI to TSA to Volusia County Fire Services, Volusia County Sheriff's Office, Daytona Beach Police Department, Daytona Beach Fire Department, the airport, and we have local airlines that are playing in the exercise as well. It is a large-scale exercise, and again, it's designed to test the airport's emergency plan, our reaction times, our communications plan, and ultimately make the airport and the community safer.
The drill is designed to come as close to a real disaster response as possible. In order to satisfy FAA requirements, all airport emergency plan functions must be exercised to assess the capabilities of the plan and the personnel. In addition, response teams must coordinate with federal, state, and local agencies and activate the airport's Emergency Operations Center. The Daytona Beach Half Marathon on February 7th attracted 2,748 runners, a 62.5% growth over the number of people registered in 2014. Despite the cold, rainy race morning, runners relished in the experience. Volusia County government and Daytona International Speedway partnered to return the popular running event to Daytona Beach. The race took a break in 2015, but was back this year under new management. It featured a breathtaking course that took runners from the historic asphalt of Daytona International Speedway to International Speedway Boulevard, leading to a panoramic view of the Atlantic Ocean atop the International Speedway Boulevard Bridge. Because of the windy conditions and the high tide, runners could not run the 1-mile part of the course on the beach. Instead, runners ran down A1A and then turned around and headed back to the speedway. This year, the county's Marine Science Center was the designated beneficiary and received a check for $15,000 during the March 3rd County Council meeting.
We never dreamed that we could get such an impressive amount. And so this is going to be a wonderful benefit to the Marine Science Center, allow us to be able to develop some new exhibits that we've been hoping to be able to develop, but without the resources to be able to make it happen. So this is at a perfect time and a perfect opportunity for us to see one more chapter in the Marine Science Center's growth.
Nearly 900 of the half marathon and relay runners live outside of Volusia County. They also came from 28 states and from 7 different countries. County Manager Jim Deneen believes the Daytona Beach Half Marathon will have an even greater impact on tourism in the next few years.
And what we're really looking for is to make it a big family event in this community that draws families in. And the way you do it is you keep up with what's going on in the racing world. Now you got an opportunity where people come down as a family, somebody can run the half marathon, people could split the half marathon, and you also could do the 5K.
Registration for the 2017 Daytona Beach Half Marathon will open July 1st. The roar of the race cars has left Volusia County, but another roar is already rolling in. This year's Bike Week from March 4th to the 13th is expected to attract tens of thousands of motorcyclists from around the nation. Along with the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally in South Dakota, Bike Week reigns among the biggest motorcycle events in the country. Many bikers congregate on Main Street in Daytona Beach and at Destination Daytona in Ormond Beach, but the week has truly become a county-wide event. Volusia County residents and visitors are encouraged to use extra caution when driving about town. Sharing the roads with motorcyclists requires special attention. Several years ago, the Volusia County Council launched a Look Twice, Save a Life campaign that is now being used statewide.
Drivers of vehicles need to remember two things. There's going to be more motorcycles in the area, and sometimes they're hard to see. So those drivers need to take a second look before they pull out from a side street, an intersection, or make a left turn. Take that second look before you drive.
According to national and local statistics, about half of all motorcycle fatalities are caused by motorists, most often when a motorist turns left in front of a biker. Motorcycle accidents caused by bikers are usually related to impairment, speed, or inexperience.
As motorcyclists come and enjoy the festivities for the next 2 weeks, we want them to have a good time, but a few safety tips to remember. Be seen. Make sure those headlights are on. Make sure you're wearing clothing that makes you visible. And don't rely on a driver to see you. Make eye contact with those drivers before you make any kind of movement so that they see you. Make sure you're at your game. Don't drink and ride. If you're going to drink, stay put. And then a lot of crashes we see in this area involve speed. Don't do anything that you normally wouldn't do. Have a safe time here. If everybody obeys the law, everybody should have a good time safely.
When it's time to upgrade your technology, there is a company in DeLand that is ready to recycle and repurpose your old electronics. Joanne Magley has more in this week's Business Beat.
The Environmental Protection Agency estimates that more than 2 million tons of computers and other electronics are thrown away each year, but only about 20% of those materials are recycled. Michael Son, VP of Commercial Operations for Sontech, hopes his company can help increase that percentage.
Sontech is an end-of-life recycling company. Our main mission here is to collect and to accept end-of-life electronics, which could be laptops, desktops, cell phones, servers. And our main mission is to keep the items out of the landfill and to make sure that any data that is on the unit is destroyed. Any data that's in the hard drive is either wiped militarily or destroyed.
Sontech began operations in January of 2015, but Son has been in the electronics recycling business for more than 35 years.
I originally started in this business in 1979 when computers were much bigger. They were mainframes. They weren't desktops. They were very big, large units. But there's always been a necessity to recycle, whether it be metal or glass or whatever. And so what's happened in the industry is there is so much of this product that if we throw it all into the landfill, we won't have room for anything else. And then all that material that we throw into a landfill really is a hazardous type material once it gets wet and it gets into a landfill.
When an item first enters the facility, it is triaged, then examined by the IT staff to determine if there's any resale value in it. This is the demanufacturing line, where techs take apart things like computers and cell phones and then separate them into various commodities.
We make money on the back end of the commodities, and we also make money on the resale of any items that can be resold. That's how we make money in this business.
Commodities include computer parts such as power supplies, fans, circuit boards, even the metal casing itself. If these items are deemed unsellable, they go into a smelter or to a company that will regenerate that product into a new product.
We're 97% landfill free, which means that most of the product, 97% of the product that we bring in-house is dealt with inside the facility and then shipped out to another end user, not landfilled. We recycle shrink wrap, all kinds of plastics that come in here in the preparation for shipping, cardboard, wire. Like I said, everything we bring into this facility is parted out and recycled as a commodity, everything.
And even though Sontec is a very new company, they expect to expand in the next 8 months to a year, which could include building a second facility.
I see this business growing because everyone has a computer, everyone has a cell phone, and that's not going to go away. Since we are a throwaway society, that is going to end up in the garbage. Hopefully it will end up here and not in the garbage. So I see this business going on forever and ever.
For the Business Beat, I'm Joanne Magley.
The Museum of Arts and Sciences Planetarium can take visitors on a trip that is out of this world. Kendra Lee has more on this star tour in her report for Volusia Here and Now.
Have you ever wanted to fly into the universe and explore the stars, planets, moons, and beyond? Now the technology to do so has never been closer to home. The Museum of Arts and Sciences Planetarium has brought the universe to the ground.
This is a real state-of-the-art planetarium. This is so different to what we had before. The old projector, we had this amazing optical star projector that gave great pinpoint accuracy of all the stars, but that was all it could do. This new planetarium, we can actually fly you out in the digital projector, fly you all over the universe, go right out to the edges of the known universe, fly you back in, come right back to the museum.
In order to offer this experience, the planetarium has 2 state-of-the-art computers, the most powerful astronomical software available. UniView is basically the entire universe in one handy database projected onto an aluminum dome.
We have some of the newest projectors that are displaying on the dome. The software is, the newest that you can get right now. We're running a 40-foot diameter perforated aluminum dome, so it has little holes inside to absorb the sound. And we can put the speakers behind the dome for a true surround sound effect. And the coating on the dome has the perfect reflectivity for the projector. And so you get the best contrast, the best color from the dome. And of course, with a dome, you can see all around you.
The planetarium offers exploration and education shows geared towards families, young children, and school programs, but is a great experience for anyone. The planetarium's laser shows are offered the second Saturday of each month.
We have so many shows now that you can see. Become a member. Every time you come back, you can come and see a different one. We have all kinds of movies. We have the different planetarium day shows. And every day you want to come in and see if you're going out that evening, pop into the museum, you'll see what you'll be able to see if you're going out for a walk on the beach tonight. We'll show you exactly what you can see up in the sky that evening.
Planetariums are obviously great for astronomy, but the Museum of Arts and Sciences Planetarium has the ability to reach beyond the stars. They can teach art and history in an immersive way, using their technology to create new shows and educational programs. Though astronomy is their core mission, there's a world of possibilities.
We can fly around Earth, any spot on Earth. We can look at the night sky from any spot on Earth. We can go to any planet, Mars, look at the Curiosity rover, fly through the rings of Saturn, go through our own galaxy, and even fly through the galaxies around our galaxy. And we can go almost anywhere in the universe instantly, at any point in time.
In a competition between the United States and the Soviet Union, known as the space race, humanity proved that we could walk on the moon.
Wow, what a great show here at the Planetarium at the Museum of Arts and Sciences. Art, science, who knew all the things they had here? For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Kendra Lee.
It's time to head into the studio and join the Director of Community Information, Joanne Magley, and her guest, Lenny Marion, Director of Volusia County Solid Waste.
Well, today we're going to talk trash, literally. Every week, we all put our trash and recyclables to the curb and then forget about it. But behind the scenes, it's a very complex business. So joining us today to talk trash is Volusia County's Director of Solid Waste and Recycling, Lenny Marion. Hi, Lenny. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So let's just begin with some general information about the county's solid waste operation. It's one of the county's services that's behind the scenes, and a lot of people don't know about it.
No, yeah, we are kind of behind the scenes, but Solid Waste Division, we provide disposal. That's our primary goal within the county, to provide refuse disposal for the county residents, along with a collection program too, through a franchise that we offer through public services for curbside collection. You got a staff of about 76 folks, and from tractor trailers to heavy equipment to landfill compactors to HHW, household hazardous waste, and recycling, 15 drop-off locations for Igloo for the oil recovery program. So we're pretty widespread throughout the county, and to offer that service.
So your budget is about $37 million.
Approximately. That varies, Joanne. Our collection's about 10.2, and when I say collection, that's the portion for Republic Waste. Those dollars are committed to pay them for curbside collection for our residents. Mm-hmm. And then we have another, anywhere, it can run from 25 to 27 million for the landfill side of the world and the transfer station side of the world. Depending on our capital outlay, and the dollars that we spend on. The primary stuff is the equipment and the landfill expansions that we do.
But your operation is not funded through county taxes. Tell us how you operate.
They call us an enterprise fund. Enterprise fund is basically outside the window of your standard ad valorem based budget that you have within a county. We operate like a private business, strictly like a private business. Everything that comes in the landfill and the transfer station over the scales, there's a tip fee for that, and residents and customers are required to pay a certain fee for certain items that come through. We take that revenue, and just like a private business, we look at we have a 7-year master plan that we look at, capital outlay, our construction projects. All of that money is dedicated to paying our staff, buying our equipment, putting our restricted cash and reserves aside so that we can go ahead and build those landfill cells to provide future capacity. And then we take a look at our equipment, and we have an equipment renewal program. You know, the average landfill compactor out there is about $950,000. So, financially we have to plan pretty tight.
So let's talk about capacity at the landfill. How big is the county's landfill, which is located just south of Daytona Beach?
3,400 acres out there. We have a multitude of services that we provide, from construction and demolition disposal, regular household garbage disposal. We're in the process of building a new citizens drop-off area out there where the citizens won't have to go to the working face of the landfill. And then we have the Class 3 disposal over there also. And we kind of mirror the transfer station with our HHW facility. And that's where you can go and you can drop off your paints and things of that nature. Mm-hmm.
So in addition to the landfill operations, the county, your division also manages trash pickup and recycling for the unincorporated areas of Volusia County. And I imagine that can be a little bit of a challenge, because if you think of the unincorporated areas, they're pretty spread out, and they're kind of out there.
From Pearson, all the way to Lake Harney. So that's quite a spread. And you said it, you hit it right on the head. It's spread out. Some of them, back in the old days, they called them pig trails. And they're just little trails where some folks live down there. Unmaintained roads. We have some community stops, like over in Orange City area over there. A lot of dirt roads. A lot of areas that you get that sugar sand, low hanging limbs. So those guys, they have their challenges out there, but there's a few hiccups along the way. But overall, Republic does a good job serving our 45,000 residents that we have.
And so a lot of people, if they live in the city limits, then they're dealing with their own city's contractor. And has there ever been any talk about any consolidation when it comes to city and county pickup?
Yeah, we've got 16 cities within Volusia County, and those cities come and dispose of their garbage with us. And they have their own private collection agreements with, say, Waste Pro or Waste Management, and they develop their own contract. And what we do is we provide the disposal on the other side of that for them. I think that the matrix of that being that you have so many entities out there with different dates and different levels of service that it's difficult to put that all together to say have a solid waste authority or combine those services together.
So anytime people come away from the landfill, they're just surprised about all that goes on. What exactly goes into the waste disposal operation at the landfill?
Well, you're right, and I'm not going to brag, but I am going to brag that the Citizens Academy, I think we're one of the favorites that when they do come out. Again, they get a totally different perspective of what really goes on out there. It's a complicated effort to get it done, from starting with the permitting process through the government agencies, from Army Corps of Engineers to DEP to St. John's Water Management District, endangered species, ERP permits, looking for groundwater, borings, how the groundwater flows. We abut right up to the Tomoka headwaters. So environmentally, we have to be very careful what we do, and we're monitored by those folks, and we work through consultants and the regulatory agencies to do that. Landfill, a cost per acre of Class 1 landfill, somewhere right in the vicinity of $320,000 an acre, somewhere in that ballpark.
So it's not as simple as, digging a big hole and putting things in. It's pretty complex.
Right, and we actually we'll dig down and make a little hole. We don't dig too deeply, but it's a matrix of collection pipes, double composite liners, sand, filter fabric, and it's 2-layered. We have a leachate collection system, and the leachate is all the liquid that goes through the garbage and comes in, and it's got to be collected and it's got to be treated, so that we just can't go and dispose of that on the ground. And so it's a complicated effort out there.
So back in the 1980s, Florida mandated that all counties had to reduce their waste stream by at least 30% through recycling. So what is the state of recycling as it pertains to Volusia County?
We're doing good. I mean, we have the curbside program. We have the 15 drop-off locations within the county, and we have certain cardboards that we recycle. We recycle scrap metal, white goods, paint. So we're right there with the rest of the counties out there as far as the recycling side of the world. We're at 52% right now on our last state report.
That's
so
great.
We're doing very good as far as the 30%. And we'll continue. We look at innovative ways. The innovation portion of it is that we have to make sure, not only because we're an enterprise fund, that the new technology sometimes may appear to be the greatest thing to do, but when you look at it economically, it's really not. And that's what we have to do. We're not sitting here saying that the environment is not important. The environment is very important, but we have to make sure that it makes economic sense also for our residents.
Well, speaking of recycling, you also recycle the methane gas that's produced at the landfill.
Correct. And we were under contract with a company previously. That contract expired, and we're in negotiations now with DTE, which is a methane to energy company that's all across the country. We're working on that contract. They've got people out at the landfill as we speak. We're doing some gas sampling, and we're balancing the gas collection system. But basically, it's like a big vacuum cleaner. We've got vertical wells, got horizontal wells, got over 100 wells in both the south cell and the north cell. What happens is it just runs off a blower. There's a couple blowers that actually suck the gas, takes it into a facility. We're flaring everything right now. Goes up a flare and we burn it because of Title V requirements, and we can't release carbons into the atmosphere. But hopefully within the next year and a half, 2 years, that we'll have that facility up and going, and we'll be producing electricity back out on the grid again.
Wow, that's awesome. So what is on the horizon for solid waste and recycling? What's new or what's coming up?
Well, we've got the 75% goal for the recycling by 2020. That's state mandated on that, and we're working towards that. And we're looking into how to expand the programs to achieve those goals. It's going to be tough, I'll be honest with you. We're kind of unique here in Volusia, is that the multi-housing can generate quite a bit of capacity, of tonnage, I should say, or volume. But getting there with this limited space and limited parking lots and how to manage those programs, it's tough for the cities to do that, because that's where most of the multi-housing is over on the coast over there. But we're coming up with other ways. We're looking at our Class 3 landfill, maybe doing some recycling programs there of our construction and demolition program. Again, when the methane gets back up on, that'll be another added factor. So we're researching that area there. The south cell at Tomoka, we're looking at a 250-acre expansion out there. We've started that. Matter of fact, council today approved the first phase of that. So our consultants will be out there taking borings, looking at our stormwater management program, how we're going to dewater, wetland delineation, and things of that nature. So 2053, that's a good spread. It's an asset having that landfill to our citizens. If we didn't have that facility, we would have to go and look for capacity for disposal for our residents. And when you do that, you're at the mercy of the other vendors. And what happens is you have to pay a tip fee to dispose of your garbage, and you have to pay a collection fee to get it off curbside. So when the disposal fee goes up, what happens is the collection fee goes up, and that's passed on to our residential customers and our commercial customers. So we're at a big advantage in Volusia County through the guidance of our council and county manager of that saying, no, we're gonna own a facility, we're gonna operate it efficiently, and we've done that. That's why that we can offer an economical price for disposal and keep our prices in line.
And I can't let you go without a little side note that the landfill is actually a big draw for bird watchers.
Yes, it
because
is.
you have some birds that travel miles and miles just to land there.
Well, we have, there's probably, I'm going to say 80 to 100 different species of birds out there at this time of the year during the winter. And they've been with the Science Center, they come and they do annual bird counts. And they do a great job with it. We have the Audubon Society we work very closely with. And we've had them from New Zealand, Iceland, seagulls that travel that far to our facility over there.
Wow.
Got an array of eagles, and we have bird watchers all year long. We have, what we've done for them is we've made bird monitoring stations out there, and they have signage. We have a map for them. We show them where to go, and they have their binoculars and their cameras, and we keep them at a safe distance so they stay out of line of traffic and heavy equipment, but they enjoy it very much. It's a very good program.
So Lenny, where can people get more information about solid waste and recycling in
You can go to our webpage at www.volusia.org, click on solid waste recycling, and it'll give you all the information about all the programs that we have.
All right, Lenny, Marion. Amber, back to you.
Thanks, Joanne, and thank you too for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can simply log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osmond. Have a wonderful evening.